like lose everything here. Ah!
Hey, Heather's moving the camera.
We went live a few minutes too soon, but we got
Sorry.
here.
Are we good?
I'm still
I'm
here.
good.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I
Well,
needed to plug in my
that's good.
tablet, iPad.
You're on the iPad? Maybe that's why we were having technical difficulties. Welcome, everybody, to our
Maybe.
first...
I kind of don't have a
We are live with Heather from BB Can 2, who's no longer taking 10,000 steps a day, I would hope. How is everyone doing tonight?
Oh, not willing.
Not willingly?
Good.
Yeah, she may be taking more than
Not
that now.
willingly.
Does it feel like you're actually taking more?
This is true.
Oh.
I think so. I don't really know how many a normal person takes in an average day, but I heard it was something like 5,000, and I definitely do more than that right now. So I don't know. Doesn't feel like as much.
Doesn't feel like as much. It seemed like a lot, though.
It was tiring watching you.
Yeah.
But you were so cute.
The outfit was adorable.
It was. You
I
wore
loved
it
it.
well.
Thank you.
All right. Let's
Oh
dive
my
into some
gosh,
questions.
I saw people try that outfit for Halloween this year.
Really?
Okay.
That's
Where-
awesome.
What
I
have
think
you
she
been?
has a little bit of a delay.
Yeah. What have you been up to since the show? What's been going on?
Pardon?
What's been going on since Big Brother
Pardon me?
for you? What's been going on for you since all of the craziness has ended?
Oh, okay. So I've been trying to see as much as my Big Brother family as possible, and my boyfriend Will and I have been spending a lot of time together. And I go up to Vancouver actually on the 24th to hopefully sign with an agency, and then I move to Vancouver at the end of this year. So that's kind of big, I guess.
So
Yeah.
you'll get to see Netta and Sarah and everyone a little bit more than what you would now.
Yeah, and I'm super pumped about it. Yeah, and like Alec will be down there, and Peter.
That's
Oh,
exciting.
I love Peter.
Yeah.
Don't
I'm
we
jealous.
all love Peter?
I do.
I love Peter, of course.
Oh yeah.
All right. So I know you've been at the Stampede, which I'm from Alabama, so I don't know a whole lot about it. So you may want to let us know what that is.
Okay, so Stampede is awesome. It's like this big, huge fair that happens every year, and they have like Stampede Grounds, which has all these rides and fun, and it's like a carnival, but then they have a rodeo at the same time, and then there's like live appearances by people like Shania Twain and 50 Cent, and then there's a whole bunch of beer tents, and it's all like outside in tents all around the city, and it's really fun.
Are you coming back for another day of it?
I'm hoping to. I'm supposed to go to a wedding on the 12th down in Cochrane, so I'm hoping on the way back we might be able to stop in a little bit and then boogie on our way back to Edmonton, but I'm crossing my fingers.
Well, yes, because Kyle's coming for 5 days. Very excited.
What 5 days are those?
The 10th to the 15th, I believe, but I think he's doing 2 days in Edmonton at the end, 13th and 14th, or 15th, 14th, something like that. I know he has plans to go see Delhi. So you might get to see him.
Yay! Hopefully, that'd be
I
nice.
think
I miss him. I
think
never really
Kyle
got to
sent
know
you
him very well.
a question. We had a question from him.
Yeah, Kyle did.
Yay!
Kyle did send a question, and I'm not really sure. It doesn't make sense to me, but I will ask it just because he sent it. Where is it?
Okay.
Kyle Shore is asking you. I was wondering if you give a moose a muffin, is he really going to ask for milk?
Is she lost as we are?
If you give a moose a muffin, is he really gonna ask for milk? What does that mean?
We were hoping you knew.
Like Marshall the moose? Why would a moose eat a muffin? Yeah, no, I don't get it. Sorry, guys.
We had no idea. We thought it was an inside joke between you guys. We were hoping we'd get the scoop. Oh, we lost her. So many technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties are fun.
There you go. I can hear you.
Are you still with us, Heather?
She dropped out of my screen. Do we want to go on and talk about Big Brother 16 till she joins us again?
She dropped out of my screen, too.
I think she's gone.
Sure. Big Brother 16. Lots of chaos going on in the house right now. What are you making of the explosive afternoon that we have had? While we wait for Heather.
I don't even know what to make of it. I really don't. I don't think there's Heather. We were just talking about the chaos that is Big Brother 16, Heather. I think our iPad. I think the iPad. Evil Dick has a lot of issues with guests on the iPad. I think it's the iPad.
iPads. Well, I know when we call each other.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Too. We're all learning.
We're learning. This is our first real interview.
It is.
How was it? How hard was it to deal with that bullying? We'll just jump back to that. After you have been bullied before. Because they were mean to you.
They were bad. They were really bad. I'm even watching this season and thinking about, like, even what they did to Joey and everything like that, and she wasn't even bullied, but it just reminded me, and we're like, why did none of the girls in this house ever get bullied? Jeez. But it was really hard. It was harder in the beginning, I think. I think it was the worst part about it was knowing my friends and my family were watching and seeing me go through that and they can't do anything about it. Because really, people can make fun of whoever, but and your friends and your boyfriend are watching it happen to you. I think that was probably the worst part.
I can't imagine how hard it was on Will to actually, like, watch it all go down. And not be able to, like, comfort you.
I think he actually... Yeah. I think he actually stopped watching a couple episodes while I was on Big Brother. But, I mean, girls are mean. And it happens. But, like, you just hold your head up high and you get through it. And then at the end, everybody is all a lot happier. You have a lot more friends. And everyone who is mean can, well, they can go sit by themselves in a corner.
In week 8, when you were up against Sabrina, could you tell that you were the target? Is that why you fought so hard for that veto?
We lost her again.
I love the iPad for that purpose.
It's great. We lose, and you know what? She may not know that every time she gets a tweet, it might kick her out because we tend to have that problem.
We figured that problem out. Yeah. Yeah, the chaos going on right now in the BB16 house, Zach being the target, I think he might go home, but I'm sad to even think about that.
It's like Nick and Tosh all over again. I'm really upset about it.
It might be the fact that every time you get a tweet, you're getting knocked out. It does that to me.
Is that what it is?
It might be. It might be. I know, like, if I'm on my phone and someone actually calls me, it knocks me out completely. What was I saying? Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, talking out of,
Week 8, when you were on the block against Sabrina, did you know that you were the target? Like, could you sense it?
Yes, definitely. Oh, yeah, okay, because as soon as John was the one that put me on the block with Sabrina, right?
Yes.
Feels so long ago.
But it wasn't that long ago.
Yes, and the second that he did that, instead of putting me, he was going to put Netta up, or Adele, and it didn't happen. I knew that I was the target. I knew that that's what they wanted. And I was like, the list just sucks. This is happening all over again. Only now it's really close to the end, and I really want to win. So come on, power veto.
And you fought hard for that veto. You look like... I seen the episode the other day because my PVR is retaping it. I don't know why. And you were just grabbing those letters, and I've been in a wind tunnel, and that is not an easy task to do.
No, it's really hard. But I wanted it so bad, and I didn't care about the money. I just wanted to make sure I stayed in the game.
And it kind of forced them to take out Deli.
At least 1 week before they tried to take me out again.
It was close to the end. Were you as shocked as everyone else when John actually voted out Netta? During that finale?
I was, yeah. My jaw hit the ground. I couldn't believe it, especially since, like, Netta's my girl, so I wanted to make sure that John didn't vote her out, and I didn't want Sabrina to win that money. Like, I didn't think that she just... that no matter what, they would just stick to their morals and take each other to the end, no matter what, and that didn't happen, so I was stunned. I'm still stunned. It sucks.
I think John knew that if he took Netta to the end, he wouldn't have won. Because you guys did that morning show after.
Yeah, he's kind of smart sometimes. Like,
kind of smart sometimes.
Sometimes. Did the fact that they had a showmance, like, afterwards, did that surprise you? Or did you kind of see it blooming in the house?
not at all.
Really? Oh, it didn't surprise you?
Definitely saw it blooming. No, I was around them all the time. So, I mean, I got to see everything, but there's no way that I didn't say anything at all. So I was just kind of like keeping my mouth shut, but the second that happened afterwards, I was so excited for them. They deserve it. They are such a cute couple, and they're so happy.
And they're the first showmance out of your season, I guess? Because all of you were not single. It seemed like the house was all taken.
We were. Well, except for Allison and Andrew. I guess they had a bit of a showmance.
It lasted about as long inside the house as it did outside, didn't it?
I think so. I think so.
Maybe longer inside the house than it did outside.
Well, the good news is that yeah, this is true. Netta Netta and John will end up being a couple, so that's good.
They're a cute couple. I'm glad for them.
How hard was there any question in your mind when you were given that choice to spend 2 minutes with your loved one? Was there any question? Was it, no matter what they tell me, I'm going to do it?
Yeah. As soon as it popped up on the screen, I didn't care what it was. I would have done absolutely anything to see Will for 2 minutes. I would have done anything to see him for like 30 seconds. So 2 minutes was like heaven for me.
Who do you think got the worst end of the deal with that?
I think probably Netta or Adele, because I could not give up all my personal belongings. I definitely had that one easy. And I definitely could scene. And then the house in the world would see a whole nother side of me that I'm not quite ready for quite yet.
I was thinking of, I was put in that position, and I was like, would I have actually said yes to any of it? Because it was so close to the end that I probably would have said no.
That's fair, though. Like, you're allowed to say no.
But you probably, you wonder, though.
Or if you would have just gotten a new...
It's a hard situation to be in, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game becomes your life, and I think it's easy for us on the outside to say we wouldn't do it, but maybe being put in that position, it would be a completely different scenario.
I remember you first won HOH.
We were talking about it before we had seen them.
You think so?
Our audio problems are great.
I think it's the iPad time delay, or it could be my computer. I don't know.
My iPad is delayed on the feeds as well, so it could be. Well,
what was I gonna...
Let's ask the question. Everybody wants to know: would you have voted John or Netta? Final two.
Okay. Netta. I would have went to the end with Netta. I think that's what I would have done. Like, it's hard to say it now. Like, it's probably a lot easier because back then, harder, and I would have definitely cried and had to think about it a lot more. But I think back looking at it now, I should have chose Netta. But really, they were both trying to get me out of the house anyways, and I would have loved to go to the end with John. So I think that's what I would have done, but there's no saying at how I would have actually reacted inside the house, of course.
What were you gonna... If you had made it to final two, what was going to be your plea to the jury?
It would have had a lot of things in it, I think. I think it would have speed-talked my way through it, but it would have been along the lines of I started out with everyone else, then I hit rock bottom, I made my way up all on my own. I didn't really have a true, like, two-person alliance in this whole entire game. I was just kind of left to defend myself minus the sloppy seconds. And I fought and I won what I needed to win, and I stayed truthful and loyal to the people I needed to stay truthful and loyal to, and probably something along those lines.
You may have had my vote.
Yeah. Thank you.
Amber, did you have...
I think I would have tried to word it a lot better.
Not so on the spot. If you had to pick someone out of your cast, who would you be playing Amazing Race Canada with?
Out of the cast.
I took Will out of the the
Probably
options because
Adele.
that's a given.
Do you see Deli a lot?
Yeah, because actually Will and I have been talking about. Pardon?
Do you see Dell a lot?
I see Adele a lot more than a lot of people, I think. We used to have like a lot of meet and greets and stuff like that together in Edmonton because we're here. Same with Rochelle, which is kind of awesome. I definitely would have picked Adele or John to go on the Amazing Race with, but Will and I have a tryout because it hits air, so you might see us. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I think it's a possibility. Is Will gonna move out to Vancouver too?
Yeah, we're gonna do it together and go on a little bit of vacation after December, I think, and then head on out to Vancouver and look for places and do that whole like couple moving in thing. Yay!
That's exciting. That is exciting.
Thank you.
I was in Edmonton and none of you guys were anywhere to be found. And I didn't know where a craft beer market was, so that wasn't going to happen.
That's the worst. I'm so sorry. Did you end up finding it at least, or going anywhere else?
I didn't even attempt it. No. I know where the modeling agency that you use. Do you still work there?
Yeah, I do. They're really great. I'm going to be with them until I sign with my other agency.
That's exciting. Now, were you a fan of Big Brother before you decided to audition for this crazy game?
I was a fan. Like, I wasn't like Netta fan, but I was definitely a fan. I loved Big Brother Canada Season 1. And I loved the seasons with Rachel Riley on them. They were my all-time favorites. She's the whole reason I started watching. And I just kind of got hooked, and I was like, oh, I think I could do well at this. So I tried out, and since being on the show, I've become even more of a fan.
Well, now that you know how it all works. Any advice for someone who's going to try out next year
Exactly.
for the global move? BB Cam 3? Any advice?
First of all, being on global, oh my god, awesome! Everybody from season 1 and season 2 is extremely jealous of this next year because they are on global, and that is sweet. Also, try out, do a good job, just leave your nerves behind and have fun with it. Be yourself, because they can spot a fake person a million miles away, and all they want to do is see you and an extreme part of you. So if you can be yourself, just up it by like 10 notches, you got it. So just try that.
What time did you go to audition? What time did you get there? Because I got there at 9 and I was 100 people behind you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I was still driving from Calgary at 6 a.m. Longest day ever.
Aww. That's a crazy drive, too.
That's fun, though.
I'm sorry.
What do you think your best game move is, Heather, or was?
I think that getting rid of Arlie was a really, really good idea. I also think that making a huge move after Canada's HOH was probably the best thing I could have ever done. And aligning myself for the slot was probably something else that was really my biggest move, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was a good move. I don't think you would have. I think waiting for an alliance with you was the best thing because everybody seemed to jump into alliance really quick, and you kind of stayed back, and I think it really was what helped you get as far as you did in the game. and exactly what the house
Thank
guests
you.
of BB16 Bomb Squad are finding out right now.
So, who are you rooting
Yes.
for on BB16?
Like, okay, so Nicole is my number one favorite. And I also really love Amber. I love Cody. I think those ones are my favorites. Oh, and Frankie. I actually really like Frankie. I wasn't too sure how I deal with Ariana Grande's brother being on the show, but I actually really like him. He's a great guy, and he's fun to watch.
I agree. I was very torn on how I was going to feel with him this season, but I'm liking him, although today he's been a little on edge, but I guess that happens to anybody who gets thrown under the bus by their main alliance member, but we'll see how he comes out this week.
My favorites from the beginning were Cody, Nicole, Frankie. But I don't know if you know who is on Team America, but it's an interesting dynamic of the three.
Oh!
You have Derek, Frankie, and Donnie in Team America.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know how that's going to play out.
I can fill you in on a
Yeah,
few
that's
things
weird.
that happened today.
Amber, what's happened today? I have been so busy.
Okay, it came up, the POV ceremony happened about, oh gosh, I think it went down somewhere right around a little after noon, 12:30. It came back up only an hour later. It was pretty quick, surprising all that happened. Basically, Devin took Brittany off the block, saying that he didn't want to leave a single mother on the block, which blows my mind because he put her up there, and put Zach up there.
Nice.
Zach Bailey ripped into the whole alliance, as Cody put it, with a smile on. Devin kept a smile on his face the whole time Zach was ripping into him. Since then, it seemed to really go downhill. Everybody imploded. Hal got called out for throwing the Battle of the Block Alliance. And let me think. What else? So much has happened. Right before we came on, Jocasta and Frankie were talking and said, if you have a big player on the block, you have to take a stab at him. That's just how you play the game. So I think Frankie is really turning on Zach. I didn't want to see it happen this soon, but I think it is.
Oh my gosh!
Their showmance is shot.
Before it ever got started. But Nicole and Hayden have gotten a lot closer lately. I would go ahead and put a showmance stamp on them, actually.
That's an interesting alliance. Nicole, Christine, and Hayden.
Yeah, they're Nicole and
That is
Hayden are really
different.
cuddling it up. I didn't see it coming. I don't think anybody really picked that out.
No.
I
No,
had a
but I think
question.
it's really good. I think it's awesome. Nothing.
I had a question and then I forgot, so give me a second.
Well, I think we've about... what did you think about Allison and John's drunk night
Oh, yes.
in the DR?
Were there any signs that they were drunk? Like, could we figure it out?
You know what? They're wacky. So it was really, really hard. I think that if I was around Allison a little bit more, I probably could have figured it out, but I wasn't. And when John did come around, he just seemed overly goofy. So I just kind of thought, like, maybe the game was getting to his head a little bit, and maybe he was having a really off kind of day. But everyone in the house is kind of weird, too. So I couldn't really tell that they were drunk. But the second I watched it back, and the second that they said they were loaded, I was like, oh, hello, yeah, you're definitely drunk.
I was pretty surprised that nobody noticed Allison walking in the house soaking wet.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that too, actually.
That was when she was looking for the power veto, not the drunk night, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Speaking of Allison, you've had a chance to meet Scott and Nate. Who would you have liked to have seen as the final house guest that snuck in?
You know what? They are all really, really great people, and I really like them both. I love Allison, so I'm really happy that she's the one that ended up being inside the house. I think that was perfect. I kind of expected a little bit more, but I think that she did a really good job being put in her situation. But I think that if it wasn't Allison, then I would have loved to have Scott in the house. I think he would have took a lot of heat off of my end, that's for sure. But I also think he would have been fun to be around. And I would have loved to see his little costumes and see if he had a fashion show or anything cool like that.
He really wanted that fashion show. Like, that's all he talked about on the live feeds. And you guys couldn't hear that there was another room, like, when they were in there? Because sometimes they were pretty loud.
That's what shocked us the most, is because we would go to bed at night, we wouldn't hear anything, but all of us were so loud all the time that I think that's why we couldn't hear anything. But that room was very, very soundproof.
And
when Netta was in that room, didn't you guys know where she was? Couldn't you hear her, or she could hear you guys? Which was it?
We heard her for a millisecond.
Okay.
And then it changed. And then we couldn't hear anything anymore. So we were like yelling at her and saying goodnight and saying how much we missed her and all this other kind of stuff, but we didn't actually know where she went. And I had heard that in other times they actually like take them out of the house and they bring them somewhere, they make them do something or go somewhere. So I was kind of hoping she was getting like a pedicure, a massage or something.
It was a relaxing day.
Yeah.
I think she was probably hoping that too.
Yes.
Especially when they blindfolded her. I do think Netta figured it out though. Like, I think Netta may have like put together where Allison came from after she was in that room.
Yeah. I think she probably did too. I just don't think that she said anything.
And I think that's why she instantly evicted her.
Well, and then she did get to go back into the room and see Emmett and Jillian, which is probably, I think,
which I was really jealous about.
What did she win again? How did she get into that?
We had the power or something. Again, that clock went off.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's right.
And then she won veto, and I guess that was how she got in there.
Okay. I have to say, one of the funniest times in the house was the first time the clock went out. I think it hit 6 million. You guys had no idea what it meant. As soon as it went off, you got so excited. You had no idea what you were excited for, but you were all just so excited you couldn't contain it. It was so funny.
Yeah, like jumping up and down and hollering, and we couldn't wait. We thought something fun was going to happen immediately, and then nothing was happening. But we were super excited for whatever it was going to be.
I think that was the first task that unlocked Marsha.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tala came in the house.
See, that was a good thing.
So it wasn't all bad with the clock.
Or was it Arlie?
Arlie had the mission.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Speaking of the mission, did you have any idea he was on a mission when he was saying such mean things?
No, I didn't. But I thought something was up when he started taking everybody single-handedly into a different area to talk to them. I was like, this doesn't sound like Arlie. Arlie's trying to play under the radar, and he's taking every single person aside, and he knows that that's very suspicious inside that house. So I was like, there has to be something going on, but I didn't quite get it. It wasn't until like way later that we started figuring out that, hey, this might be Marsha.
I would have been very sad if I didn't get a Marsha task.
Nana and I were so upset. We're like, we never got to see her. We always talked about wanting to see her too.
And then she was in one of the last POVs, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was the host for it. That was pretty exciting.
Was. Yeah, she made fun of me when I lost using the squirrel costume. That was great.
Well,
thanks, Marsha.
Marsha was great when she sent Adele out on the task, and you guys had to make him fail miserably. That was
awesome. That was so much fun to do. You should have seen the look on his face. He tried so hard. I actually started feeling bad for him, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, when is this going to end, this poor guy?
It seemed like it lasted longer than the hour. And Arlie, when he was... Did you find he was getting a little obvious throwing the comps close to the end?
Yes. Definitely. Arlie did not hide it very well at the end at all, or in the middle. But, like, in the beginning, he was doing a good job, but I think he just figured we were all stupid by the end, so he didn't have to put as much effort into it.
When he was, like, crawling over the golden potato, and he kept going over it and over it. I thought he was pretty genius for a little while there.
He was a genius. Like, everyone in the house felt bad for him. We're all sitting there watching, and we're like, he's got to have seen it. That he was doing such a good job with his acting that at the end, he had all the girls right beside him asking him what he wants. He could have had everything for the rest of the night free and clear at his fingertips.
That's funny. Amber, did you have anything else you wanted to go over?
I think we've about covered it. How is your knee doing? It was your knee that you injured, correct?
It was my knee.
It was in nuts to that.
Day 17, I hurt my knee. It's actually not the best. I go see a specialist on Thursday, and so far I have a torn ACL, and I have a cyst with liquid underneath my kneecap. So they're thinking that I have to do surgery. So I'm waiting till Thursday to find out more.
Well, I mean, it really looked like it took you down hard. Like, you looked like you were in a lot of pain as soon as, more pain than John looked like he was in for sure. It
hurt really, really bad. That's for sure.
I'm not surprised to hear it the way that it looked.
So both you and Gina Marie have knee things going on right now.
We do. I felt so bad for her too. Hers happened when we were in Niagara Falls, I believe, or like slightly after or in Niagara. I can't remember, but I felt really bad for her.
Was involved.
Yes, right. So in Niagara Falls.
Something about wrestling, and there's a video.
Oh, I haven't seen the video. I need to hunt them down. I want to go and see that thing.
I think Kyle has the video. Tell Kyle to show you the video.
Oh, I totally will. I'm going to make him show me and come and see me when he's in Edmonton, because he hasn't told me he's coming to Edmonton.
Yeah, I know
yet.
I think he's coming up to see Dali.
That makes sense.
So,
That's cute. That was a cute moment of life.
The praying, and your favorite moment of the game, I guess, to finish it off. What was your favorite moment in the house?
Yeah. I had a lot of really good moments. When the four of us were sitting there watching awards night at the end, I think that was probably my favorite. And seeing Will, because family means a lot to me, and he's my boyfriend, and I love his face. So I think those two are my favorite. But I think that the time that I got to have with the people I call my best friends now was probably up there on the list, because now I'm at work and I'm doing all these other things, and I just miss being there and having all this alone time with my favorite people.
John and Etta?
Yeah, and Adele.
Adele, for a while there, he was like the person you went to before you left. He was like saying goodbye at the beginning. Yeah. If you hung out with him, you were done. That's what it seemed like for a little bit there.
Yeah, he definitely had a curse.
It seemed like a curse. I enjoyed you and Ika in the little pillow fort.
Oh, thank you.
Solving your differences. That was a sweet
She
moment.
is a great girl.
Were you
It
mad when
shocked
she
me you say
shredded the
that.
letters?
Pardon me?
Were you mad when she shredded those letters?
At first, I was like, shred them. Please shred them because I want you to go home and I need to stay this week because I'm not ready yet. And then afterwards, when she did shred them, it just took so long after all the things she said that I just didn't want her to shred them anymore. I wanted her to take the money and give us all our letters and or like not take the money, give us all our letters and then go home because at that point I didn't think she deserved to stay anymore. She said a lot of really mean things and it made me very unhappy, especially after we made up in that fort. So, but, you know, it happened. It's funny watching it. Watching it was hilarious. I burst out laughing.
I don't think I could watch it back. If I was on it, I don't think I could watch it. Because I'd be like
It was
nitpicking everything I did.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely everything. Up until, like, even what you wore or how you thought at that moment. But it was really good. I didn't watch part of Rochelle's HOH. I didn't think I needed to go through that again. So I left that part out. But watching it was hard, but it was nice. And I like to see all the things that I did know and the things that your, like, intuition tells you that ended up being right or ended up being wrong.
You find your intuition was mostly right most of the time?
Yes, whether I followed it or not, it ended up being mostly right. I wish I could have followed that a little bit more. I think that's kind of a hint for anyone for next year. Follow your intuition because it's smart.
You always hear everybody say that. They don't tend to do it, but you hear everybody say it.
Yeah. Smart words.
I guess it's good for life, too.
So, do you have plans to do an appearance in Vancouver when you get moved out there? I know a lot of people were disappointed when you had to cancel last minute.
I did. I was actually really upset that I had to. Some family stuff came up, and family always comes first with me, so I had to cancel. But I want to do something out there very, very soon. I think that'd be great. Even if I was just visiting, I'd love to see everyone out there and meet some fans and have some fun and go out with BB Can family. But I'll definitely be doing something 100% after I move there, if anything. But I think that auditions for BB Can 3 are going to be sometime, and I hope to be there during that time too. That would be really cool.
Interesting. I know a lot of people are waiting for that casting information.
Me too. It's gonna be weird to see people in my house.
What do you hope happens in BB Can 3? What do you want to see?
Okay,
Maybe you can come back and host a challenge.
I would love that. I really hope that I get to see lots of Marsha, and I want to make sure that there's more than one showmance, and that nobody gets picked on as bad as I did, because I freaking sucks and it was already done. So, ladies, for next year, don't pick on people.
Don't try and start an all-girls alliance, because it's not going to work.
Yeah, or a first 5, because clearly that didn't work either.
I think any first alliance that starts out in the house typically doesn't tend to make it. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, and there's very few.
You need to lay low. Lay low for the first few weeks.
You need to get to know people and actually be able to slightly trust them, but you don't
even
know
though you
when
can't
you first walk in
completely
the
trust
house.
them.
Exactly.
That had to have been weird, sleeping with strangers. You just meet and you're sleeping with these people.
It was kind of fun, actually. I thought of it like a slumber party with a whole bunch of random people. So it was like going for a fun night in a tent and never leaving.
Did you guys sleep at all that first night?
I slept like a baby. I was exhausted. That was a long day. But as time went on, sleep got harder and harder to come by. And since Big Brother liked to mess with our time, whenever we went to bed wasn't always the same time as waking up. So our hours of sleep were very different on a daily basis from what I can remember.
Your guys' hours of sleep weren't the only ones that were off. I was with you guys almost every morning when you woke up. till bedtime.
I woke you guys. I did live feed updating for site, and I woke up with you guys every single morning. It was 11 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock your time. Typically, you guys woke up at that time, but you guys went to bed at all hours of the night. You did not get much sleep in there. Every time you guys were guessing, I don't think I got much sleep last night. You didn't. You really didn't get much sleep.
Well, that's really good to know, because I think we all started going a little crazy by the end, and we're like, are they messing with us, or are we just messed up? So I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah.
My sleep schedule is all off because of Big Brother 16. These particular house guests don't like to go to bed. They don't seem to sleep.
No, they don't.
But they have fun.
Oh, they're killing us. I don't know how much fun they've had today.
Yeah, there's been lots of drama.
The only person who said he's had fun is Donnie. Donnie actually had fun at the POV meeting. He was ready to go in the DR and talk about it, which I love Donnie. So cute.
I love Donnie too. He's such a sweetheart, and I actually got really emotional watching him. I'm like, you're so pure-hearted. Like, I hope you go far, buddy.
I did too. I actually tweeted out that I can't believe, like, episode 2, I'm actually going to cry. I don't think I've ever done that. I usually cry towards the end, but I don't cry towards, like, the very beginning. But
I almost teared up a little bit when Devin was kind of like, Donnie, are you who you say you are? And he was kind of like pushing that, and I was like, he is. He seems pretty true.
You just want to stand up for him. Like, every time somebody, you don't even want anybody to talk about him or say his name, because I'm ready to, like, jump all over him as soon as they do.
Oh, I so agree. If I was there, I'd be like, his little back out little blonde girl.
So who would you be aligned with if you were in that house with that cat?
If I got to pick, I would have to say probably one of the guys. And I try to keep it as big a secret as I possibly can. I think, like, Donnie would be a good person to align with, and probably, like, somebody really fit, like Cody or something. And then,
Cody.
Nicole,
nice
definitely. And probably Amber. Like, a really big mismatch of people that you would never, ever expect. Because I feel like everybody just kind of clumps together. And then they have those alliances, and then they have more alliances, but they always seem like they stay with the people that they get along with better. And I think that if you had an alliance of people that seem like they would never hang out, they might do really well.
I think you might be right.
Are you watching the live feeds?
I watch them sometimes. I've been trying to, like, go back and watch them whenever I can, but I've been, like, working a lot lately. And I just got back from vacation, so I've been tuning in and looking at feeds on my phone, but I haven't actually gotten time to, like, sit down and watch for hours on end yet. But I have a feeling that might be coming.
I know, we're in week 2, and it's non-stop drama, 24/7.
Probably
Perfect.
10 things have happened since we've started talking. It's probably Zach and Pal. It's changed, 10 times since we started talking. So I'm interested to actually get back in there and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Oh, I'm very excited. We didn't really, aside from technical difficulties, it was a pleasure. Maybe we can do this again later in the season when it's less chaotic and we can figure this out without technical difficulties.
Yeah. I would love that. Especially got it working now. I loved being here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I was so excited to have you today. I could barely function all day.
That's true.
And you need to try to get back up here for Stampede. Suzette's coming up.
All right.
Did you have a favorite for season 1?
Season 1, I like Jillian. I liked her a lot. I think she was probably my favorite from season 1. And Tala. Tala was awesome. I loved watching her. She was funny.
Tala is a bottle of energy.
That's what I love about her. There's never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment. Did you know that Ro peed in the hot tub?
She had said later on that she had peed in the hot tub, and we were like, "Are you actually being serious, or is this like some kind of weird gameplay that you're trying to finally do?" But after watching it on the screen, yeah, we definitely knew, and we didn't go back in there for a while.
I don't think I would have went back in there. I was surprised Sabrina stayed in the water.
That is friendship.
That is friendship. It was great having you. I'll give you the link to the show so you can tweet it out for anyone who missed it with all the chaos.
Thank you.
Yeah, and hopefully we can do this again soon.
I would love that.
Words?
Anytime you want. Pardon? Last word?
I
love you all, and thank you, and I hope to see you all soon.
You want to get out and meet those fans as soon as possible?
Yes, that too. And I want to meet as many as I can. I love the look on their face when their eyes light up, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, and then they want a picture, and I'm just so happy. It's like, oh,
like
yay,
that little girl that gave you flowers. The little girl that gave you flowers.
Oh, that was so cute.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I have a quick story to tell you.
Okay.
Okay, so not yesterday, the day before, I was on a C train in Calgary at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and there was around like this little girl and all of her friends, and I think they were around like 12 or something. They were really young, and they were on the C train at the same time, and I was like nodding off a little bit, like sitting there trying to stay awake, and Will's taking care of me and making sure that I'm not falling asleep and that we get off on the right spot because I'm exhausted. And this little girl comes up, and she just, like, peeks around the corner, and her and her friends are just staring at me like this. And I'm like, oh, hi. And they're like, are you from Big Brother? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, my God, okay, can I go and get my phone? Will you wait 2 minutes? Can I go get my phone? And I'm like, well, I'm not really going anywhere. So, yes, you can.
I'm on a train.
Yeah, like I'm not jumping off anytime soon. But it was adorable, and I loved it. So anytime fans want to come up, please just do. Even if you're shy, I don't mind.
Did you get a lot of people stopping you at Stampede saying, oh my God?
Yeah, a lot. Will and I got to go with a few of Will's friends, which was kind of nice. And every so often, a group of people would come up and be like, you're Heather from Big Brother. And his friends would be like, dude, does this happen a lot, or is it just because it's Stampede? So it was kind of cool. It was different. There's a lot of people there. So, I mean, a lot of people watch Big Brother.
Well, you've seen the amount of people that voted for all that random nonsense that went on.
That's true.
And, hey, you even had a following in the States. I'm in Alabama, and I was watching you, so.
Yeah, there were a lot of people in the States watching.
We had trouble.
I'm so glad.
Feeds, but we made it.
Yay!
I learned all kind of stuff.
Have you watched any of the UK ones?
I haven't. I hear about them from like Netta and stuff, but I haven't watched them yet.
I recommend Big Brother Australia from last year. It was really good.
Okay.
And Big Brother's voice is really sexy.
Woo! Bonus!
So, like,
yeah, it was.
That is the voice I would like to be hearing calling anyone to the diary room.
I agree. I definitely agree.
It was great talking. We figured it out. I knew we would.
Yay.
And, yeah, I'll tweet you out the links so you guys can, for anyone who may have missed the chaos, now that we figured it out.
All right. Well,
Perfect.
I guess
Thank
we'll
you.
wrap it up.
Yes, and me and Amber are back Wednesday with Trevor for a show.
Yay!
And then Friday, Scott's joining us.
Ah!
So that should be fun.
I'll be tuning in.
We'll be talking
look
about a
forward
whole
to
new
it.
set of problems, I'm sure.
Everything else will have gone down by then. But it was great fun, and we'll talk soon.
Okay.